Hello everybody and welcome to 6-4 part 2. Make sure you grab the notes here. Today is similar to what we did yesterday, but this time instead of graphing one line, we're going to be graphing 2 lines here. So let's start by graphing the black line. And remember how I graph these is I look at this number right here. I say that's 4. That is the place I am going to start on my y-axis. Remember, that is the mx plus b. That's the b or the y-intercept, okay? And right here, this -3, that's the way I move. So all the ones on your assignment today are actually whole numbers. There's no fractions. So remember, when I have this -3, that means I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1, okay? And so, and then I'm just going to graph it. This one, like yesterday, is going to actually be a solid line. Let me see if I can move this thing over. Okay, this thing is actually going to be a solid line going like this. Okay, so that is what you'll do on your assignment. Now we have to graph the purple line, and I'm going to do that right now. Choose my purple. There we go. And to graph the purple line, I'm just going to do the similar thing that I did last time. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go 5 down, and then I'm going to go up 2 over 1. There you go. This one just happens to be a dotted line, and the reason why is there is no equal to sign down here, so it's a dotted line. That means the solution is not included. Okay, now I'm going to go over shading on these because like last time we have to do shading, and then I'm going to explain what this actually means. Okay, so far I got 2 lines. I'm talking about solutions. You're probably a little hazy about what's going on, but I'll explain that. But first, I just want to talk about, and this is the slope or the way you move on the end. But first I want to talk about how to shade these, okay? So how do I shade these? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this in blue. How I like to shade these, if I'm only given one color, obviously I can do it with 2 colors, but it wouldn't be fair for you because you're only dealing with 1 color. So how I do this is I look at the first line, okay? And let's look at this first line right here. Y is greater than the line. That means I'm going to shade vertically, and I'm only shading vertically just so you can see the contrast here, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that. Y is greater than the solid line or the black line. Great. On my next line, it says that Y is less than the line. So I'm actually going to shade this one like this or horizontally. And where these overlap, so this area right here, this dotted area and this solid area right here. So this whole area right here are possible solutions to the equations. And what does that mean is they will be an x and a y, okay? That if I choose any x and y, let's just choose this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one right here. I'm going to choose this point right here. If I choose this point, 5, 0, if I plug it into either one of these equations, or actually I should say both of these equations, it will make the statement true. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So I'm going to do the top one first, okay? I'm going to do this top one first. Y, which is 0, because that's the point I chose, is greater than or equal to -3 times 5 plus 4. Well, -3 times 5 is -15 plus 4. -15 is plus 4 is less than 0 because that's actually -13, right? So that is a true statement. And very similar that if I choose the purple line, I'll just do that real quick and I'll just do it up here. So Y is less than, I need to actually put my numbers in here real quick. So if I actually put my numbers in here, 0 is less than or equal to 2 times 5 plus 4, and that is going to be 10. Oops, that's not the right. Excuse me. 2 times 5 minus 5, because I'm actually doing this equation right here. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 5 is indeed greater than 0, and that's actually not equal to, that's just There you go. So that's what it means to have a solution in that area, okay? And now I'm going to highlight and I'm going to talk about what does it mean for the line to be greater than or less to, because that's last class, that's what everybody had trouble with, was the shading. Everybody could graph fine, which made me happy, but everybody was dealing with some shading issues. So we're actually going to go over that in detail here. So first I'm going to start by graphing the black line, and then I'm actually going to shade it, and then I'm going to graph the other line so I can actually show you what the shading looks like. Okay, so y is greater than 4x plus 5. Again, I'm going to start at my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, okay? Because remember, there's that invisible 1 there. This is actually a dotted line because it's just greater than. It's not greater than or equal to, so it's just a dotted line that kind of looks like this. Okay, now I need to decide if I need to shade above or below. Well, it says y is greater than, but people were still shading below last class. But let me talk to you how you kind of go about doing this, okay? What you do is if it's greater than, you just pick a point on the on the line, and you just go up. That means greater than, up, in accordance with the y's or in relation to the y's, okay? It's going up. That is greater than. So I just pick a point on the line and I go up if it's greater than. Obviously, if it's less than, I would go down from the line. Okay, so now I'm going to actually graph the purple line here, and let's grab that and let's do it in purple again. Okay, and so let's just do this. So I have 4, so I'm going to find my 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a point. And I'm actually going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Great. And I'm going to do a dotted line. That kind of looks like a curve, but I'm just going to keep going with it, like pretend it's a line. There we go. Great. Now I have to shade above or below. In this case, I'm going to shade below, and I'm just going to use a different color to give a little contrast. Okay. And so I'm going to shade below the line. So as I do that, and that's because y is less than the line, so I'm going to shade below the line. So I just pick a point on my line, and since it's less than, I'm just going to shade below the line. Okay. Now the place these overlap is actually where my solution lies. Okay. So the place these overlap, and let's just do this in like a red. Okay. The place these overlap is in this area right here. Okay. So this is actually where my solutions lie. And so if it, and that's it. And the shading it will take a little bit of time, but you can only have solution sets in one of the 4 areas. You cannot have solution sets in multiple areas right now, according, for your math. So here we go. Solution sets in one or the area. So let's just look at another problem real quick. And I'm not going to really do the whole problem, but I'm going to talk about what I mean in one area, and I'll just draw a rough sketch of a graph right here. Okay, and let's look at this right here. So that's a coordinate plane there, and say I have 2 lines. Let's just make them in a different color. So I have a line that goes like this, and then I have, let's just do another line, maybe a blue line, and I have a line that goes maybe like this, and say they're both solid, okay, in this case. Well, I can only shade one of these 4 areas. Well, I can shade multiple areas, but my solution set is going to be in one of the 4 areas. It could be in this area, it could be in this area, it could be in this area, or it could be in this area right here, okay? It cannot be in multiple, okay? So these will always cross, and you will just select the correct area that the solution set is in. Okay, so again, just get these graphed, give a little, ask a friend if you need help with the shading. That's the only part the last class had a problem. Hopefully I described that shading a little bit better. Remember, when if it's greater than, let's just do the red line real quick. If it's greater than the red line, okay, remember, you just pick a point on the red line and you go up, okay? And that's how you would shade something greater than the red line, okay? And say the blue was less than, again, you would just take your, a point on your blue line, and you would actually just shade below that because it would be less than, okay? So in this case, my solution set would be in this area or kind of sector 4. So there you go. Hopefully that gave you everything you needed to know. Good luck and have a good day.